Estamos en Schlifka, Molina, arte contemporáneo. Hoy es 4 de septiembre. ¿Qué tal, Nomura? Contanos un poco cómo fue tu educación artística.
Please tell us your artistic upbringing or education.
Okay. Well, I was since I was a little kid. I've always liked painting, drawing, pictures. But the first time I went to school for this education, for art education, was in the year of 2001 when I went to London to study at art school there, which was called Central St. Martin's. I did my first year, foundation year, in Central St. Martin's. Then for the next 3 years, I went to Chelsea College of Art and Design to do fine art there. That's, yeah, pretty much everything about my education.
¿Cuál es la diferencia entre el arte contemporáneo oriental y el arte contemporáneo sudamericano? ¿Cuáles son las diferencias más notables que vos ves?
Japanese art and Latin American art.
Yeah, the differences that you see.
Yeah. Well, I don't know too much about, to be honest, I don't know too much about art in Latin America. I've seen quite a bit in Argentina here, but well, okay, let's talk about art here. I see a lot of influence from the Aboriginal people. You know, obviously you have a mix of Aboriginal art and European art, probably. Of course, you know, there are so many people who originally came from Europe, so it's a mix. But I see a lot of Aboriginal Latin American influence in it, and I'm quite interested in it. And well, I don't know how much influence that it's got on me, you know, up until now. But you know, some people say, okay, I see a bit of Argentina in your work, so probably I've been influenced by it. And when it comes to art in Japan, I don't, well, there is something for sure, you know, say, if you look at ceramics and furniture and everything, housing and everything, there is a lot of art. But when it comes to the concept of fine art, Western fine art, that doesn't really exist in Japan as yet, I think. There are some artists who make things and who sell things abroad, you know, westernized artists, but there aren't too many, and the movements are not really there, you know, to be seen within the country. That's my opinion. And you know, but then again, I'm very much influenced by what's in Japan, you know, what Japan has inherited, you know, throughout its history. So the influence is there and huge, but you know, I'm saying this again, but when it comes to fine art, it doesn't exist.
Volviendo al tema del arte contemporáneo, ¿vos creés que sos la vanguardia y en ese creer de que sos la vanguardia, ¿por qué crees que realizás obras tan contemporáneas a diferencia de tus otros contemporáneos latinoamericanos que hacen obras conceptuales y hacen obras casi minimalistas y casi sin decir nada y no comunicar nada? En tu obra queda claro que tu contemporaneidad quiere dar mensajes muy concretos, muy contemporáneos.
Going back to the whole contemporary thing of it, you believe that your work is like, in a way, has or in comparison to those who work in a more like conceptual or minimalistic way, do you believe that your work in a way is at the forefront of things or not?
For
In the forefront or
forefront.
vanguardia?
Forefront
Yes.
of this conceptual
Of art
in general. Forefront. Well, I don't know. It's a very difficult but good question, I think. Well, when I went to London and studied art there, concept was a big thing. You know, in my course, in the course I did, which was called Fine Art, concept was pretty much everything, I think. You know, you don't get any, you know, you don't receive any briefs, you know, they don't tell you what to do exactly. So you're the one who has to think about everything. You're left with freedom to choose anything, you know, to choose what you want to do, to decide, you know, what to make. So I was inevitably I had to think a lot about concepts, but I ended up having pretty much no concept, to be honest. You know, concepts, the idea of having concepts sort of confused me a lot. But right now I've been painting, just painting, without thinking too much about what I'm doing. But bit by bit, I started thinking, you know, I started going back to this idea of having concepts. And I've started seeing some concepts in my work. And it's fairly simple. You know, I'm just painting just to put out what I have in my head, what I see through my eyes. So I can share them with others. Probably I want some other people to come to, like, for example, to this exhibition and say, oh, I like your work, I like this piece, I like that piece. And I'm hoping for it to happen because I'd like to please other people. You know, that's my concept in its purest form. And I'd say, why not? You know, what else is there to do? And when it comes to going back to the question, am I like the most conceptual? I don't know. I have no idea where I am in this art world. Am I behind others? I have no idea. I respect Western art and Japanese art as well. I respect some classic art forms. So, well, I'm in that. I'm following the path, that's for sure. But where am I? I have no idea.
¿Vos considerás que el arte contemporáneo en 20 años lo van a ver como un proceso apolítico?
Do you think that in about 20 years' time, contemporary art will be seen as a political movement?
Political movement?
Has nothing to do with politics.
Ah, okay, a political movement. Well, fine art is, yeah, it's full of possibilities, fine art. Because like I said, there is so much freedom. You're not told to do this and that. You know, you're left in a room where with nothing, no materials whatsoever. You're just in this empty room with no target, no objective. But you have to do something. You know, people say like, make something. And it's a very fine concept, I think. And obviously it'll come down to what you are, what you have been through. So you're naturally tested, and probably you'll end up giving away, what you have got, expressing what you've got. So, if done well, done with, with a lot of devotion, and if done for the sake of good purposes, I'd say it can create huge movements. If it's I've just said what I have in mind.
Con respecto, siguiendo con el tema del arte contemporáneo, ¿crees que los coleccionistas y los curadores están perjudicando y traccionando la obra de los artistas al ser tan exquisitos en la búsqueda de la estética?
Do you think collectors and or curators in a way limit the potential of the artists by having such a tight aesthetic look into what they want?
I haven't had too much experience to answer this question properly, but I imagine having someone else in process is something. It can work. Sometimes it can work really fine. Sometimes it stops you creating what you like to create. But then again, you shouldn't be working alone. Some people say, okay, artists should be working freely in order to express what they have got. But at the end of the day, you have to show your pieces, and those pieces will have to be accepted in some way. So I don't see too much problem in that, as long as you have a good curator, good gallerist, someone or some people you can trust.
¿Cómo consideras ver tu obra de aquí a 20 años?
How do you see your work from here to 20 years from now?
I've been receiving quite nice comments from people, and they have been encouraging me a lot. So right now, at this point in time, I'm thinking about doing what I've been doing, which is painting, and I may be doing something else. I may be making some videos or something else, performance, why not? But yeah, I'd like to keep doing what I'm doing. And having said that, I see so much potential in painting. So painting will be something I'll be doing for the rest of my life, hopefully, more or less.
Thank you very much, Nomura. Estamos en Schlifka, Molina. Esto es para Palermo Online Noticias. Les habla Pablo Rubin desde Palermo Soho. Chao.
Gracias.